Queen Zara ruled the dragon planet Vorthak with iron claws and burning breath. She commanded fleets that could turn stars to ash, and her people feared her wrath above all else. For 3,000 years, she had never shown mercy to any species that dared challenge the Dragon Empire. The humans were different, though. They arrived in small ships with weak weapons and soft skin that could not withstand the heat of dragon fire. Yet when her generals expected easy victory, something strange happened. The humans fought with clever tactics and refused to surrender even when facing certain death. Captain Jake Morrison led the human colony ship New Hope when it entered dragon space. He knew they were outmatched, but his people needed a new home. Their dying Earth could no longer support them. Zara could have destroyed them with a single breath. Yet she found herself curious about these fragile beings. During the first battle, Jake's ship was captured. Zara brought him before her throne, expecting to see fear in his eyes. Instead, she found defiance and something else she had never encountered before: compassion. He looked at her not as a monster, but as a being capable of reason. "Why do you not beg for your life, human?" she asked, her voice echoing through the vast throne chamber. Her scales gleamed like emeralds in the firelight, and her wings cast shadows across the floor. "Because begging won't save my people," Jake replied, standing straight despite his chains. "If you're going to kill us, then do it quickly, but know that we came here seeking peace, not war peace." Zara laughed, but the sound held no humor. "Dragons do not make peace with insects." "Then perhaps dragons have never met anyone worth making peace with," Jake said quietly. Those words stayed with Zara long after she returned Jake to his cell. She found herself visiting him in secret, drawn by his strange human wisdom. He spoke of love and sacrifice, concepts that dragons had forgotten centuries ago. He told her stories of Earth and how humans cared for each other even in their darkest moments. Weeks passed and Zara's visits became longer. She began to see that Jake was not like other prisoners. He never tried to escape or attack her guards. Instead, he asked about dragon culture and listened with genuine interest. She had never met anyone who wanted to understand her people rather than simply fear them. One night, Zara came to Jake's cell and found him sick with fever. The dragon prison was too hot for human bodies, and he was slowly dying. She could have let nature take its course, but something inside her rebelled against that thought. She moved him to cooler chambers and brought human medicine from his ship. "Why are you helping me?" Jake asked weakly as she tended his wounds. "I do not know." Zara admitted, her great form curled protectively around his small bed. "Perhaps because you showed me that strength comes in many forms." As Jake recovered, they talked more deeply about their worlds. Zara learned that humans valued love above conquest and that they created art and music that celebrated beauty rather than destruction. Jake learned that dragons were not monsters, but a proud people who had lost their way after centuries of war. Love began to grow. Between them, though, both knew it was impossible. A dragon queen and a human captain from different worlds with different natures. Yet when Jake looked at her, he saw not a fearsome ruler, but a lonely soul who had never known gentleness. When Zara looked at him, she saw courage that had nothing to do with size or strength. Their secret meetings could not remain hidden forever. Dragon nobles discovered their queen's visits to the human prisoner. They demanded Jake's execution, claiming he had bewitched their ruler. Zara faced a choice between her throne and her heart. "I will not let them harm you," she told Jake as angry voices echoed from the throne room. "But if I choose you, I lose everything. Then don't choose," Jake said, taking her great, clawed hand in his small human ones. "Find another way." Zara stood before her court and announced her decision. She would spare the humans and grant them sanctuary on an uninhabited world in dragon space. In return, Jake would remain as ambassador, ensuring peace between their species. The nobles protested, but Zara's word was law. However, she made one demand that shocked everyone. Jake must take a dragon form through ancient magic to survive in their world and prove his commitment to peace. The transformation was dangerous and few survived, but Jake accepted without hesitation. The magic changed him, giving him strength to match dragons while keeping his human heart. Zara felt the change in herself too, as if their bond had awakened something long dormant. In her ancient soul, they were married in secret according to both human and dragon customs. Months later, Zara discovered she carried twins inside her. The dragon physician said it was impossible for their species to reproduce with humans, but the children grew strong. Her belly swelled with life as she continued ruling her empire. When the twins were born, they had Jake's blue eyes and human curiosity, but dragon strength and the ability to breathe fire. Their birth proved that love could bridge any divide and that new life could come from the most unlikely unions. Zara held her children close as Jake marveled at their perfect tiny forms. The boy they named Alex, after Jake's grandfather, the girl they called Luna for her bright spirit. Both children had small wings that would grow mighty as they aged. The dragon nobles who once demanded Jake's death now saw wisdom in the union. The human colonies prospered under dragon protection and trade flourished between the species. Other alien races looked upon the alliance with wonder, for none had thought such cooperation possible. Years passed and the twins grew into remarkable beings who could speak to both dragons and humans as equals. They became symbols of hope across the galaxy, showing that differences in species need not mean eternal conflict. Their blue eyes held the wisdom of both worlds. Queen Zara still ruled Vorthak, but her reign had changed. She no longer conquered through fear alone, but through respect, earned by fair dealings with all species. Jake served as her advisor, helping her understand the perspectives of smaller races. Sometimes Zara would remember her old self, the queen who had mocked the very idea of love with humans. She had thought their emotions made them weak, but had learned instead that love was the greatest strength of all. It had given her children who would unite the galaxy, and a partner who saw her true heart beneath scales and fire. The Dragon Empire still commanded respect across the stars, but now it also commanded love. Children on distant worlds learned stories of the Dragon Queen who chose compassion over conquest, and the brave human captain who showed her a different way to lead. As night fell over Vorthak, Zara would hold her sleeping children while Jake read them stories of Earth's heroes. The twins would dream of adventures among the stars, carrying forward the legacy of two worlds united by an impossible love that proved anything was possible when hearts were brave enough to try.